Hello guys and welcome back to a new project. So this project is my frewwing Yak-130. So this plane actually has a funny story. You cannot get it anymore, which is the reason why we're doing this. Otherwise I would have just bought another one. Because this plane, it started off as a plane of a friend from my father. And then my father got this plane from him. So he bought it because he couldn't fly it because it was way too slow. Then my father, I think he flew it once and did a pretty bad crash landing in the field because the battery ran out. And then I got it looking a bit nicer again. I flew it for a few years and then it sat in the cellar for very long, and then I flew it again after like 2 years, and I thought like on that flight, damn, that thing is slow. I literally was worried on full speed in every single corner that it's going to stall. So what we did was for frewwing, originally there was a JP 6 to 8S impeller with 6S on grass. No way you can get it up on tarmac. You'd use like a 200-meter runway. It was ridiculous. And with the 8S it went barely on grass. You had to go full speed for like 100 meters and then deploy full flaps to get it up, and then you just got it up sometimes with the right wind and everything. And what we then did is we upgraded to a Vemotech 8S. Flew a bit better, not tons better, but it flew a bit better. It worked, but still wasn't enough for me. So what we did, we put a Schubler 12S EDF into it. One of them actually is in this MiG right now. So in the MiG there are 2 of those EDFs, and they each produce about 6 kilos thrust, and this plane weighs about 4 kilos. So that thing went crazy fast. Crazy fast. Even so fast that on the first flight the sidewinders clipped off. So they literally just ripped off of the plane because it was way too fast. And we had a few issues with the flaps because the flaps are nice and scale, as you can see, but they have so much play in them because of the mechanism. I don't know if you can see it, but mechanism is servo here, carbon rod here, attached to these 2 hinges, and that all manages this. And these hinges, these plastic hinges, garbage. They're just garbage. So we're gonna try to fasten those a bit better, but this project is probably only going to start next year winter. So the reason why you're getting a video of this is because I have to take literally every single part out. The one landing gear, because of very last landing, is because Schubler EDF, my elevator started fluttering, as you can see here. The servos just came right out. The servos that were in there literally just broke through. The literal servo had a crack in the middle of the housing, how I opened the back, and this elevator went like this in the air. And somehow with speed regulations and a lot of rudder, I was like maximum rudder the whole time, got it to land, but the impact, like at the end, because I had to get it straight somehow, it dropped from about a meter in the air. So it dropped down, it broke off the landing gear, it ripped out a few landing gears, everything broke. The whole EDF from the bottom came out. The whole EDF unit just ripped out of the airplane, and it was a pretty severe landing. So basically the whole EDF unit from the bottom just ripped out because the landing was so hard and all of that. And the main problems always of this plane just was it was slow. It was the early frewwing planes. They don't produce this thing anymore. The thrust angle was completely wrong. So the EDF was used to sit not straight in here, it sat like this. So the whole air would blow onto the top and then go in a fanning angle, blow onto the top and then bounce back onto here and then bounce back onto here, which made a really weird thrust angle, and it just was absolute garbage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to refinish the whole entire aircraft. We're probably going to need to build some new landing gear, that scale and everything. There's going to be a whole Unilight kit going into this plane, so very excited for this, because this is really one of my favorites. It's so fat and combust, I just love it. It looks fat. My father says he doesn't really like it because it looks way too fat, but I love it just because it's such a beautiful airplane. like you cannot go wrong with a Yak-130. Especially in this scheme, like it's so gray and then those orange accents here, beautiful. So here the windshield has a crack, we have to do something about that. I'll see if I can get some glue into there and do that properly. And yeah, but the first thing we have to do, what is this video, is strip the whole thing, everything out of the plane. I'm going to put into little baskets. So let's get to that now. It's going to be a lot of work, so let's do that. So guys, the paint is finally stripped. It took me around a week, I think, to strip all of the paint. So what I did is I started off with using some 80 grit sandpaper. No, some 1200 grit, because I didn't want to damage the airframe too much. That didn't work out at all. Then I used 80 grit for the most things and the top fuselage, and I thought like, that's not gonna work out right. And then I used 40 grit, and that did the job really nicely. So in my opinion, I would use 40 grit sandpaper to do this, and it takes loads of time, but you just have to take the time because you'll have an airplane. So this airplane basically now, if you would paint over it, you wouldn't be able to peel it off because it has been roughened up. But of course you would have need a few primer layers coats before it's all smooth and you don't see the let's say you don't see the popcorn anymore. But otherwise, really nice. I've just reinstalled everything, so that's why the elevator is so shaky right now. I took out the whole cockpit, so the whole cockpit just came out in pieces. The front section, the top piece came out in one, the bottom piece in one. The seats, the pilots all came out, this piece came out in one, and this seat came out in one piece. So that worked out really well. So I'll be able to refinish that cockpit really beautifully. And yeah, I mean, the nose I couldn't get fully done because of course that is plastic. You can't get the plastic parts fully off. And so what we're going to be doing next video is we're going to do the scale cutouts, because I don't want to be doing scale cutouts as soon as we have putty on it and laminate it, because then it's going to be way harder to cut through. So what we're going to do is, on the real yak right here, these go in as vents, and these front two pieces, these actually completely go down and shut this, and then this here opens and these here open, and that's a special feature on the Yak. That's for takeoff and landing, because the Yak used to operate on grass fields actually, and so that no grass really sucks into the jet engine, they just shut those holes during takeoff and landing, and then close them again and let the air flow through the main intake during flight. So because what that does is it lets the air from the top in, and you won't really get any grass or debris into the jet engine then, which is actually pretty genius. And then here, the starter unit, this is a little engine on the real Yak that powers the whole electronics, and I don't know how it's called, but I just forgot the name right now. But basically here, this is kind of okay, but in the real one there was this hole, and then there was another pipe sticking out a bit further inside of that hole, and I'm going to probably accomplish that through carbon fiber rods. And then on the back here, this part here, these are the air vents for this little jet engine. So that's what that is. I'm going to be cutting those out and just lifting them a bit, so looks more like the real thing. And a major thing we're doing is we're getting slats into this thing, which will make a beautiful scale look. Slats on this thing. Really excited to do that. So basically the whole leading edge will cut it off, depending until where the slats go on the Yak, and then I'll just teach you how to create slats. Will be the first time for me, but I'll tell you my method and how I ended up doing it. So yeah, looking forward to that video. That's probably going to be 2 parts with doing that, because I don't think I can get all of that done in 1 week. Because remember, what I do is I actually upload what I managed to do in a week of time. So that's just what I upload. So I want to keep my schedule that I upload every Friday, and also in summer there will be videos where I upload every Monday too, and those will be the weekend flying videos. But yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See you then.